Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. See a lot of familiar names in here. For those of you that haven't met me yet, I'm Donnie Crouch. I am the Vice President of Sales here with Realty.com. We're excited to show you guys a little bit more about the Seller Pro membership today, what all that includes, and obviously answer any questions that you guys might have. My intention is for this to be an interactive webinar. So any questions that you guys have, feel free to drop those in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer anything related to the Seller Pro or just Realty.com in general. So what is Seller Pro? What is Realty.com? Obviously, we are partnered with EXP and have been for several years. Listings are the name of the game, right? Listings are king. And so what we wanted to create was a platform that is flexible for agents, both budget-wise as well as what areas they service, that fixates on these sellers, but not just your generic seller leads of what is my home worth, but people that have intent to sell their home. Right. Obviously, we want to talk to people that are actually looking to make a move. And so what we've developed is Seller Pro. Now, with Seller Pro, there's a few things that we're going to touch on today. We'll touch on how the leads are generated, what the leads are, how they're routed to you guys, and all of that good stuff. But first and foremost, what I want to cover is just the basics of it. Right. So number one is with these seller leads, as is everything with our platform, Realty.com, they're 100% exclusive to you guys. Okay, and so what Seller Pro gets you is you're going to be guaranteed between 2 to 4 seller leads a month sent to you based on your service areas. Okay, now with your service areas, we don't want to constrict you to a zip code or even to one city. And so with your account, what we allow you guys to do is you can actually list up to 25 different cities in which you can service. Right. So you log into your account, you add your 25 service areas, and from there, we're going to send you dedicated seller leads raising their hand, asking for more information about potentially selling their home. Now, in addition to that, obviously sellers are the main focus, but we also give you guys the ability, to generate buyer leads. Now, the buyer leads are done on a click to claim basis. Basically, the way it works, your same 25 cities, we're going to send you alerts anytime a buyer lead's available. If you're the first one to claim that opportunity, that lead then becomes exclusively yours. Now, the best part about this platform, there are 0 referral fees on both the buyers as well as the sellers. Regardless of how many leads you claim, how many deals you close, you will never pay a dime more for these opportunities. And we've had many, many people already convert 7-figure plus deals off of both Seller Pro as well as the buyers that come through. Now, that's for the leads. We will obviously dive into how the leads are captured. I want to show you guys the landing page because I think that's really important to understand the type of lead that it is. Right. But before we dive into that, I want to touch on a few other features that are included with this as well. First and foremost is our AI lead nurturing tool. Now, the cool part about our AI lead nurturing tool is it is not restricted to just Realty.com stuff, meaning you guys can upload all of your leads from your CRM into your Realty.com account. You can set them up on seller campaigns as well as buyer campaigns, which are 100% branded towards you guys, utilizing the calls to action that we have leveraged for many, many years to capture buyers and sellers. Now, again, unlimited, right? There is no cap on it currently. So we have people that are uploading tons and tons of leads from their existing databases and getting their leads to engage with them. So our goal is we want to fill your top of funnel with new leads, both buyers and sellers, while also helping you nurture your existing database of leads. Rest assured, again, we operate based on exclusivity. So once you upload those leads in your pro account, those are still your leads, right? Nobody else is ever going to see those or touch those. But what we're seeing is a lot of agents are converting existing leads in their database while also capturing new business. Okay, this is completely included with Seller Pro. There's no upgrade option for this. You don't have to pay more to add more. You can upload all of your leads into your database and take advantage of this. In addition to that, we also integrate directly with your CRM. Okay, so anytime a lead takes an action, requests a cash offer, a tour, saves a property listing, or anything in between, number one, we can notify you for it. But number two, once that lead's captured, we can send that directly to your database. What does that mean for you? It ultimately means ease and convenience, right? So you can leverage your existing follow-up systems, your smart plans, any automations that you may have in place to help you stay top of mind with your leads. Okay. So again, Takes maybe 2 minutes to set up, completely included. That way you can keep everything under one roof. I am an agent myself. I don't practice anymore now that I'm with realty.com. Uh, but I used to have 10 different systems that I operated out of. And if I've learned anything, it's that chaos ultimately by having 10, 15 different systems, that's what causes things to slip through the cracks, right? That's when you stop following up with leads and things, you ultimately end up missing out on potential deals. So we want to make this super easy and convenient for you guys by bringing everything in-house under one roof so that everything is operating out of the same exact system. Now, as far as the CRMs that we integrate with, just about every CRM on the planet, quite frankly. The main CRMs that you would think of, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, KV Core, those types of CRMs, we already have those preset. Even if you're utilizing a CRM that is not as well known, we can still set up a custom integration for you. Okay. So all you would have to do is contact our support team or onboarding team, and we would be happy to take care of that. Okay. So not an issue there. Any questions so far? I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you guys before we jump into the lead capture form. Because like I said, super, super important to have a good understanding of how these leads are captured, what they're filling out, and ultimately how we can convert those leads into business. Awesome. Okay. I think we're all set. I'm going to share my screen here. Bear with me for a second. All right. So with these seller leads, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have generated seller leads from outside of your sphere of influence, referral network, all of that good stuff as well. With that being said, with the majority of the leads, at least that I have seen that are generated from outside sources, what tends to be the case is generating home evaluation leads, right? People raising their hand, putting in their name, phone number, and email and saying, I want to know what my house is worth. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that type of lead. It is a great nurturing opportunity. The only issue, right, and this is the example I give, I bought my house about a year and a half ago. I've done a ton of renovations to it. If I see an ad that tells me, hey, we'll tell you what your home's worth hassle-free, I might click on it, but I don't really have any motivation or intent to sell that property anytime soon. Ultimately, what we're trying to capture with our seller leads are people that have the intent to sell. And so what they're doing is they're going through a long form questionnaire, basically raising their hand and saying, I want to cash offer on my property for a number of different reasons. So they'll come on here and they'll answer, what their property type is, when they're planning to sell, the reason they're wanting to sell, so the motivation behind which they want to sell that property, the occupancy status of the home, if they're behind on their mortgage payments, their address, and then their target price range. Now, keep in mind, all of this information is transcribed over to you guys. So somebody that says, I'm looking for a cash offer because I'm relocating versus somebody that says, I want a cash offer because of divorce. Those are two different conversations that you're going to have with that lead. All right. So it's very important to understand, again, the mindset of where they're at when they're coming through this cash offer request form. Now, EXP obviously offers a ton of options for you guys. EXP's express offers. There's a million other cash offer platforms out there. But the basis behind how to work these leads is we have to first and foremost connect what they had requested with why we are contacting them. And that is the cash offer. The number one way I see agents go wrong with this type of lead, right, is the very first conversation they have is, this is Donnie Crouch with EXP Realty. Saw you're looking to sell your home. Let's talk about listing it. And you're going to immediately turn that lead off. First and foremost, what you have to do is let them know that you can help facilitate a cash offer for their home. Now, I could spend the next hour going through the ins and outs of scripting and how to set the appointments, this, that, and everything else. But the basis is you have to be able to provide a cash offer as well as options to sell. Now, again, with the Pro membership, right, the Seller Pro, you guys have access to a host of different coaching material. We have all of the scripts, we have all of the automations, we have one-on-one training, weekly webinars, everything included with this to help walk you guys through exactly what you need to do to have success into ultimately winning these listings over. Okay. But again, the vast majority of them, actually all of them, are pretty much coming through this cash offer form requesting that on their home. Now, somebody says they're just curious. It's certainly possible that they're curious what their home is worth, but they have some degree of intent for going through this long form questionnaire. So Susan asked a question. Says $25. What is the difference in Pro? So we do have a Pro membership as well, and it is discounted for EXP agents, Pro as well as Seller Pro the first month. With the Pro membership, the main difference is the seller leads. Right? So with Pro, you're going to get access to those buyer frenzy leads, right? Where you list your 25 service areas. If you're the first one to claim that opportunity, it then becomes exclusively yours, predominantly buyer heavy. With Seller Pro, you will still get that feature, but in addition to that, you're going to get those 2 to 4 guaranteed seller leads a month sent directly to you and you only. So there's zero competition. You do not have to be the first one to claim those leads. They're just sent straight to your account. Okay. Now, with both of those accounts, you're still going to get access to the coaching, the CRM integration, the AI, lead nurturing, as well as some other features which are meant to help boost your presence on Google, Bing, etc., such as AI blogging and things of that nature. Okay. All right. Pull up. Bear with me here for a second. I want to show you guys what your dedicated page is going to look like off of realty.com because you do get a dedicated IDX search as well. All right. So here is an example. This is actually our CEO and founder, Lance Custon, and what his dedicated page would look like. Okay. And so again, the branding of the AI nurturing, lead nurturing that you guys get is all going to be custom tailored to exactly what your page is. Right. So you guys are able to update the background image, update obviously your contact info, your headshot, as well as a number of other features such as your bio, past sales, your service markets, any active listings, sold properties, all of that good stuff. Okay, now the cool thing is that anybody can come onto your site, which is built through realty.com, and search for properties for sale. Now, any property that they search for is going to stay uniquely tied to you. Right? So think of it as almost having your own nationwide IDX site branded, right? To where your leads can go search. If I'm based in Columbus, I can send somebody, say property searches throughout Columbus. Anything they interact with, save, request tours of, is going to stay tied to me. Same thing if they decide to go look outside of Columbus, Ohio. Maybe they want to look for a second home in Florida, as an example. I don't have to worry about that lead then being contacted by another agent in Florida and competing for that business. Okay. So all of this ultimately is meant to do 3 things, in my opinion. Number 1 is going to be to generate leads, right? So we want to generate leads for our business, both buyers and sellers. We walk through the lead capture form for the sellers and ultimately the process behind which we are converting them into business. Number 2 is going to be the lead nurturing aspect. So again, you can upload every single one of your leads into your Pro account, set them up on both buyer and seller campaigns, which has 100% dedicated branding towards you guys. Any action they take, any information they request goes to you and you only. And then number 3 is branding. Right. And it's honestly the most overlooked thing in our industry because there is no instant gratification with branding. It takes years and years and years to build. Ultimately, what we want to see is we want you guys to populate more and more within your service areas, right? When buyers and sellers are going to Google and they're looking for realtors, we want your realty.com page to populate. And so all of the money that we invest into marketing and driving traffic to, not only the site itself, but ultimately you guys is meant to help promote you as the local market expert, right? So the AI blogging, that's a great example of how we boost that. Blog posts are a great way to, promote your pages on Google Bing so that you rank higher in the search results. We have an AI feature that does that completely for you. So it will write a blog post every single week on your behalf. There's absolutely nothing you have to do with that. It's just another way for us to try to help you ultimately build your guys' brand. All right, let's see. We got some questions here in the chat. All right. What does this cost and what can we expect? A quick recap. So for Seller Pro is discounted down for you guys to 125 for the first month. From then on, it is 150 a month. Okay. The Seller Pro is going to include a few different things. Quick highlight of all of those things included. Number one, you're going to be guaranteed to receive between 2 to 4 seller leads a month that are located within your service areas. Okay. So you're allowed to list up to 25 different cities in which you can service, and those seller leads will be direct assigned to you. In addition to that, you're going to have access to our buyer frenzy pool. So once we get buyer leads in your area, we'll send out a notification. If you're the first to claim that lead, that also becomes exclusively yours. There is zero referral fee or any additional fees associated with that. You're also going to have the CRM integration, the AI lead nurturing, the AI blogging, as well as access to our coaching community, which has pretty much everything laid out for you guys. So automation, scripting, objection handlers, appointment setting, as well as ongoing live webinars to help you guys with really any aspect of your business, but specifically to these leads. We host webinars on that as well. All right. Does the IDX feed include all listings in the US or just our MLS subscriptions? So realty.com, we have access to basically 99% of the MLSs within the country. So within that search experience, they can look anywhere they want across the country, not necessarily just specific to, your MLS. All right. So as an example, if I have a buyer or a potential seller that's looking to sell their home and move to Florida, or they want to buy a vacation home in Florida, they can still utilize the site to go look at properties for sale. I can send them saved property searches or things of that nature. So good question. Do we need to sign a contract or can it be month to month? So the Seller Pro program is an annual commitment initially, and then from there it converts to a month to month. Ultimately, our goal is not to trap anybody into an agreement. The main reason that we do it is things take time. And I know that may seem like a cop out, but we see so many agents who, and I was one of these agents, unfortunately, where we expect immediate gratification. We expect things to happen overnight. And I'm not saying that any of you guys do, but typically what we see, to give you a little bit more data as to lead conversion cycles just across the board. Unfortunately, it's going up, but typically you're looking anywhere between a 6 to 12 month pipeline. And so what I would encourage every single one of you guys to do, or to at least consider, whether you're signing up for Seller Pro or another program, I don't care if it's month to month. I don't care if they ask you to sign an agreement or not. You need to be prepared to do at least 6 to 12 months worth of pipelining. Okay. Even if I'm committing to something that doesn't cost money but time, let's say we're going to door knock, you're not going to get the results that you want within the first 30, 60 days of door knocking. Right. So whatever it is that you guys commit to in terms of generating lead opportunities for your business, commit to 6 to 12 months of doing so that you can truly see what the results of that prospecting looks like. It's a great question, though. You do not need your own IDX agreement, no. We do integrate with Follow Up Boss. We have a direct integration with Follow Up Boss. So we make it super simple on you guys. So once you log into your account, there's an integrations tab. And in that integrations tab, all you have to do is click on Follow Up Boss. And then from there, you would insert your API key, click submit, and you're done. So super simple, takes maybe 2 minutes to do. But our support team is available to help assist if you do run into any issues. All right. How many leads do we get with each package, and where do the leads come from? I don't know if you're referencing necessarily the buyer leads or the seller leads or both. With Seller Pro, you're going to be guaranteed to receive at least 2 to 4 seller leads a month. It's 100% guaranteed, or we credit your account back. Okay. So you're going to get at least 2 of those seller leads, typically between 2 to 4. In addition to that, you're also going to get access to the frenzy leads. So you can claim as many as you want, but you do have to be the first one to claim those buyer leads. If you're not the first one, you do not get the lead. On the base pro plan, you're not guaranteed anything. You will get frenzy opportunities, but you have to be the first agent to claim. So we have agents that are getting 30, 40 leads a month from this, and we have agents that are getting, a few, 5 to 10. It's ultimately dependent on how quickly you're able to capture that opportunity. Now, we do have an app available as well, which will help you in capturing those. It's Realty Portal. It's a black colored app with an R logo. That tends to be the best way to capture those leads as they come through. With that being said, we have other options available as well if you're looking for a little bit more exclusive than just the Pro membership, but you also want to generate more opportunities than what Seller Pro does. We have alternate options as well. We do integrate with Bold Trail as well. Absolutely. Awesome. So like I said, Seller Pro is a great option. It's a very cost-effective solution. It's going to get you those guaranteed 2 to 4 as well as the buyer leads. As I had mentioned, and I'll drop my email here in the comment section in a second. If you guys want any more information on either Seller Pro or anything else, you can always reach out to me directly. If you were hoping to generate more opportunities, rest assured, we do have other options available. If you want to generate more seller opportunities or you want everything to be exclusive, we do have options for that as well. But again, I'll drop my email in the chat for you guys. Feel free to email me direct. We do not pay a percentage or anything for the leads we close. We're only paying the monthly fee. That is correct. We do not touch your commission whatsoever. You keep 100% of your commission on anything that you close. The landing page for the sellers? Absolutely. Bear with me here for a second. All right. So here again is, we have several different landing pages, but they're all going to follow a very similar funnel. So it's a long form questionnaire that they are filling out. So it's not just get your cash offer today, give me your name, phone number, and email. So again, they'll be asked a number of questions. So we'll identify what the property type is, when that consumer is planning to sell. So whatever that time frame may be. The reason they want to sell. So there's several different reasons here. Just curious on value. You'll be able to identify that quickly. But downsizing, divorce, relocation, whatever that case may be. The occupancy status of the property. So if it's owner occupied, tenant, or vacant. If they're behind on their mortgage payments, their address, and then from there, what they're ultimately wanting for that property. Again, for leveraging the cash offers, you guys can go through express offers. There are many different cash offer sources out there. We have the ability to help facilitate that as well. If you guys need assistance, we're more than happy to help with that. Where do the buyer leads come from? Good question. So with the buyer leads, they're typically interacting with some individual property listing. So that could be them saving a property listing, requesting a tour, setting up a safe property search. I want a 2-bed, 2.5 bath in this particular market under 500,000, like whatever their criteria may be. They're typically requesting something. A lot of them will either request a tour, save a property listing, or something along those lines. And then from there, that's when their information will be captured and ultimately sent over to you. What ads do you promote to get the leads? Why are potential sellers clicking to give their info? Good question. So a lot of it is, let me back up for a second, because typically what agents, at least what I used to associate leads with, is Facebook ads, Google PPC, and just, unfortunately, a lot of companies will generate those types of leads and then just sell them at a premium. With our leads, they're coming through a number of different avenues. All right. So number one is going to be organic traffic. We own a host of different domains, high-ranking domains, where we invest millions of dollars to drive this traffic. Okay, so estimate.com is another one. Realty.com/cash is the page that we just looked at, as well as a network of publishers to where we're generating these opportunities. And so again, they're going through this form, and ultimately what we're trying to do is weed out a lot of the looky-loser people that are just genuinely not interested. What a lot of lead providers will do, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably seen this, is they'll capture name, phone number, and email, and that's effectively it. The reason is the barrier of entry to become a lead is very small. You put in your name, phone number, and email, and you're done. You become a lead. With this, they're going through that long form questionnaire, so they have to answer a number of different questions before we even look to capture their information. Right. So again, the thought process is if they're not that interested in potentially selling their home or finding out the value or whatever, a lot of them will not continue to fill out that form. But again, they'll go through that long form questionnaire, answering all of those questions through one of the landing pages, as well as, again, our network of publishers and partnerships that we have in place. Those are exclusive. The 2 to 4 seller leads are 100% exclusive to you and you only. Now, it sounds backwards, but even with the buyer leads, those are technically exclusive as well, right? Now, you have to compete to get the lead initially, right? But once you win that lead over, then we release the information to you and you only, right? So we never release the information to more than one agent in that case. Yeah, so Matt, all of the areas are going to be available at this point. We have a ton of volume with these cash offer leads that are coming through. With that being said, we also allow you to list up to 25 different cities. So we provide you with that 100% guarantee, and if we do not deliver, we credit you back. But again, rest assured, we do have availability for you. All right. Do we have to use the realty.com CRM? No, you do not. The realty.com dashboard, it can operate as a CRM, but ultimately it's only meant as a system to help you kind of audit things and set up your account. Beyond that, we actually encourage you to use your own CRM. Use what you're comfortable with. And that's why we integrate everything within all of these different databases so that you can leverage your own existing tools and what you're ultimately comfortable with. Because again, that typically is going to lead to more success than having to learn another platform or having to go in somewhere else and update notes. You can use your own existing system for that. We are not owned by EXP. We are an affiliated partner, a trusted provider with EXP, but we are not owned by EXP. Are you saying the leads are cash offer only? With the leads, yes, the all of them are typically coming through this form requesting a cash offer. With that being said, occasionally you're going to get some that come through that are just curious of the value of their home. So just keep that in mind. But yes, they're going through a cash offer form. Matt, I believe we addressed that one already. Rest assured, we do have plenty of volume there. So again, if you guys are concerned with volume, do we have opportunities? Do we have leads available? The answer is yes. We have a ton of volume. And again, we do allow you to list up to 25 different cities. So those 2 to 4 seller leads a month are guaranteed to you guys. That is correct. If you currently have the buyer lead subscription and you upgrade, would they continue to be first come, first serve? And would that apply? Number one, your payment would be applied. Okay, so you don't have to pay the 150 plus the 25. You're going to get both with that. And then you would still have access to those first come, first serve leads in addition to the 2 to 4 seller leads a month. Have we made the ads? That's a great question. Unfortunately, I do not know the answer to that. I'd be happy to connect with our team. If you could elaborate a little bit further, be happy to help out there. So you guys can you can follow that QR code that's there on the slide. And then I believe we have a link that we can drop in the chat for you guys as well. So that QR code should direct you there. Let me see if I can get that URL link for you guys. There we go. Actually, Actually, I think we may have a different link for that. Bear with me here for a second. I might be able to drop that in the chat for you guys. That QR code on screen should direct you to it, however. So it will ultimately depend on what account you have with both Seller Pro as well as Pro membership. There is no ISA service included with that. So these leads are ultimately filling out the form, entering in their information, and then from there, that's passed along to you guys. So at that point, there hasn't been any contact on Realty.com's behalf. With that being said, we have other upgrade options if that's something that's important to you. That does include some ISA service to help you call through, as well as add certain filters in place and different things like that. Feel free to shoot me an email direct if you want to learn more about that. I'm happy to answer those questions for you. So the leads are typically title verified. The information, I believe the last percentage I saw, it's upwards of like 95+% of the leads have accurate information. The only circumstance that you typically get into with the information or the accuracy of where it's a little confusing is on inheritance, where a property has not gone through the probate process. Right. So maybe it hasn't officially rolled over to the person that's inquiring about a cash offer on the property. But yeah, that's a great question. Data match and all of that is typically not going to be a concern. The 125 is for the first, and then from there it goes to one. So that is the first month entry discount for EXP agents, and then from there it goes to 150 a month. How are you different than realtor.com? So we're different in a number of ways. It would depend on the program specifically. With Seller Pro as well as the Pro membership, aside from the basic fees, exclusivity is going to be a big piece of that, as well as all of the other features that are associated with it. Now, I'm not going to bash any other lead provider. There are people that do incredibly well with Realtor, with Zillow, and a number of other lead providers. Ultimately, what we want to be is a partner in your business, not somebody that you're relying upon, and not somebody that is nickel and diming you. And so as a result, what we have found is that when it comes to generating leads, ultimately what agents need is support. All right, we can generate leads as agents in a million different ways. Right, we can door knock, we can do mailers, we can buy leads, we can buy lists, expireds, all kinds of different things. Ultimately, again, is the support that comes with that. And so our belief is that our relationship with you guys does not end with giving you a lead, which is why we offer the coaching, right? The one-on-one service, the dedicated scripting, objection handlers. We have custom built automations and everything to really try to help you guys in converting these leads into deals, right? Because that's ultimately what we need to occur for it to make sense for you guys. Courtney, you can send me an email. Shoot me an email. I'll drop it in the chat again. It's Donnie@realty.com, and I'll make sure that we take care of your account. All right, when I click sign up or read expedited page profile and I'm not set up, it's not finding anything. Dana, shoot me an email as well, Donnie@realty.com. I'll make sure that we get you set up. That is correct. There is a $0 referral fee. We do not charge any sort of referrals, additional, monthly fees or anything. There's no hidden fees, setup fees, integration, nothing like that. You are basically allowed to use the lead nurturing as you see fit, upload all of your leads to that. There's no charges for additional sends. So we have people that are sending a ton of these lead nurturing, AI lead nurturing campaigns to both their buyers and sellers. That's all included in that fee as well. There are a number of different companies that provide that service and charge a good amount of money for it. So again, no fees whatsoever. Obviously, referral fees included with that. All right. Please explain more about the sellers. Are they looking for full price and have issues that do not qualify for an FHA buyer? Cash is needed due to issues. Is the seller is looking for a quick close? Okay, so ultimately, what we found in years of testing different lead capturing tools is that sellers that don't have a realtor that they know or anything like that, they typically don't want to talk to a realtor. They don't want to talk to a realtor about listing their home. If you throw up an ad that says, I'm a realtor, let's talk about listing your home, nobody wants to click on that ad. Now, our goal is we still want to find sellers that have a motivated intent to sell their home, but for lack of better terms, just don't have a great understanding of the real estate process. And so what we're able to capture people that have the intent to sell their home, they just have the reasons for wanting a cash offer. Typically, it's for ease and convenience, right? They don't want to list their home because they think they're going to save money on commission, or they don't want a bunch of people walking through their home to do showings, or they want cash quick because they're going out of town or they're relocating and buying another home. There's so many different reasons for why somebody would request a cash offer, and that's all based on the motivation they select. So divorce, downsize, relocation, etc. Now, based on that, a lot of it can be uncovered in that initial conversation as to why they're looking for a cash offer as opposed to a listing. Again, there's so many different reasons that somebody would want a offer over a listing. But what we have to keep in mind is that the vast majority of these people still end up listing their home, because for 99% of people out there, listing is the better option. Even after fees and everything is taken into consideration, they're going to walk away with more money. But a lot of the homeowners do not initially know that. They think a cash offer is going to give them full market value, which of course it does not. And so our goal is, let's have that conversation. Let's get an appointment set. From there, let's get face to face, build some of that rapport and trust, and walk them through all of the options available to them. And ultimately, it's their decision what makes the most sense. Sometimes it's a cash offer. Most of the time, it's the list. That is correct. The exclusive seller leads are people that are filling out that cash offer request form that we went through. Yeah, there are other options aside from Seller Pro. The base Pro plan that includes just the buyer frenzy, so you won't get those sellers. If you're looking for something that provides more than just what Seller Pro does, we do have options for that as well. 100% exclusive options that include things like ISA service, dedicated coaching, and a bunch of other stuff. If you're looking for any information on that, feel free to shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to get you all that info over. So when the sellers complete the form, are they assuming that realty.com is sending them a buyer rather than a realtor? Just curious. Ultimately, what they're expecting is a cash offer. They don't care who it comes from, right? So they're filling out the form, yes, but they don't know necessarily immediately who's contacting them, depending on how they became generated. If they go through your specific landing page and they know that it's going to be you reaching out, but what they're expecting is for somebody to be able to provide them with a cash offer, which is why it's super important for the initial conversation. We're not leading off with, I'm a realtor, let's talk about listing, because they reached out about a cash offer. It's, I have an investor that's interested in making you an all cash offer. You go through the normal process of setting up that appointment. And then from there, you provide them with all of the options, what that looks like, whether they're looking to list or a cash offer. Now, I'm not saying don't disclose that you're a realtor. You absolutely need to do that. All I'm saying is do not get fixated on listing on the first conversation. Because again, they are expecting a cash offer on their home ultimately. No, we have plenty of availability. You are actually allowed to list up to 25 cities. So it's not zip code based, it's city based. Uh, if you're looking to do more sellers in this and you want to go the full exclusive route, just seller only, in that case, we would connect. You can shoot me an email and I can get you more information on that. But no, we have plenty of availability. The cost for just the buyer leads is free for the first month, and then it's $25 a month for just the buyer frenzy. Now, with the buyer frenzy, that's the click to claim. You have to be the first one to claim that opportunity as it comes through. So there's no guarantees on that. I believe this is being recorded, if I'm not mistaken. So it will be, yep, there we go. Will be available on EXP Solutions YouTube channel. So feel free to check it out there. Awesome. Any other questions? I think I have an updated link for you guys. Let me see here. All right. So obviously you can email me direct. Here is the updated link. Just drop that in the chat. You guys can follow that link and you should be able to sign up for either the pro membership, which is the $25 one for just the buyers, or the pro seller pro membership, which is what we covered today, the 150 guarantee the seller leads, all of that good stuff. You absolutely are. Yep, you can upgrade at any point in time, and then that payment gets applied towards your upgraded feature. So if you're on the pro plan and you upgrade to seller pro, it's not 150 plus your 25, it'll just be the 150. So you can certainly do that. All right. Any other questions? I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you guys. Yeah. The offer stands. The offer is available to you. So make sure that you save that link. If you need anything in the meantime, want to contact our team with any questions, obviously feel free to. But that link will remain live. All right. Well, thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully, some of that information was helpful for you guys. I want to thank all of you guys for your time today. Again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to myself directly. It's Donnie@realty.com. We're ultimately here to provide support for you guys. Again, the link is shown below if you guys are looking to sign up for either the base pro plan or seller pro. If you guys are looking for additional information on other options available, you can also reach out to myself as well. Again, it's Donnie, Donnie at realty.com. All right. Thanks again, guys. Have a good Tuesday. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next webinar.